Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching us this truth and ruling well. Also, would like to give double honors to their teachers. Peace and blessings to the Akim, putting on as the elect, striving for perfection and crown of righteousness by being obedient to what is written inside these scriptures. Shalom. This is your brother Kasada at GMS Austin, and was listening to GMS Dallas live from the other night, and the Elder Yashawamba was just going into how, man, you need to leave this world alone. All right, leave this life alone that this world has to offer. Ultimately, going into the Sakari situation, even Nate situation at IUIC, just going into how these people are blatantly promoting Babylon the Great, and grooming individuals, into taking the MOT to the B ultimately, which is the RFID microchip, all right, that will be implanted inside of you. But, it's always a foot in and a foot out with these guys. It's never just the doctrine, not just what the word says, it's what they feel and how they feel, and ultimately they're pushing for the American dream still. And it's obvious, man. You can see it all over them. But this is 1 John 2:15. Get some precepts, and preferably this to be edifying to the body. It says, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world." All right. It says, "And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, abideth forever," man. So the things that are in this world that Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, the wicked the Bible speaks of, all right, has a society fixated on debauchery, things that are sensually pleasing to the flesh. Anything you want is just convenient at your own reach. Go get it. Just please and satisfy your flesh at all time. When in actuality, the word tells us to deny our flesh at all times. All right. It tells us to be fasting, putting restrictions on our flesh and everything, man. Right. Denying our flesh all the time because our flesh is wicked when it comes down to it. This is Galatians 5:17. It says, "For the flesh listed against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would," man. So the flesh wants what it wants, but the spirit tells us to walk up after, the truth tells us to walk after the spirit. The truth is not telling us to walk after the flesh and just doing whatever we want. We are called to be soldiers of Yahweh Shai, so we operating with discipline and everything. So we're just being obedient as the scriptures commands us to be. And this is pleasing in the eyes of the Lord, man. As it said in this 1 John, all right, these things abide forever, but it says, "And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, abideth forever." So these things are profitable unto you to walk in the spirit. Be obedient, put restrictions on the flesh, deny the flesh on a constantly basis, and understand that the flesh is being pulled to and fro, from what this world has to offer. And that's why the scripture says to walk by faith and not by sight. Walk by what these scriptures is telling you to walk by at the end of the day. This is Romans 8:5. It says, "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death." All right. So this is what it's leading to. Walking after the flesh, walking after that carnality and everything, man. Just doing whatever the flesh, letting that flesh rule over you. Okay. Not having any self-control, never refraining or being abstinence or abstaining from anything. Not trying to avoid nothing, just always in the mix of some shit, right? It's going to lead to death. It says, "But to be spiritually minded is life and peace." Okay? So walking after these scriptures is what's going to give you comfort and be, keep you stable in this time in which we're living in. Okay? And it says in 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. It says, so then they that of the flesh cannot please Yahweh. So once again, you want to be pleasing the Most High, pleasing Yahweh. All right. But walking after the flesh is not pleasing the Most High. And 9 says, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so be that the spirit of Yahweh dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, he is none of his. All right, so it's obvious to tell. All right, men who are not, putting off the flesh, letting the flesh rule over them and everything, because they're being torn to and fro in this society in which we living in. All right, they're not walking in the light. They're trying to walk on both sides of the line, but it's either you in it or you not when it comes down to it. But putting off the flesh is a commandment, man. All right, it's how we're supposed to operate on the day to day. This is James 4:4 in the NIV version. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get it in a KJV version. It says, "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High?" It says, "Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of Yahweh," man. Once again, you don't want to be on that side. See if I can grab another version. I'm gonna grab the AMP version of it. It says, "You adulteresses, disloyal sinners, flirting with the world and breaking your vow to the Most High. Do you not know that being the world's friend, that is loving the things of the world, is being God's enemy? So whosoever chooses to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of Yahweh," man. And that's not what you want to be in this time frame, man. You don't want to be on that side of, which is the wrath and judgment, all this famine, death, and destruction the teeth of wild beast is coming for. All right? We in a time frame in which you should be, being a living sacrifice. All right? Constantly trying to deny oneself of the flesh. All right? You getting frustrated, pissed off at work, at the job, dealing with certain things and everything, whether it's traffic bills, any circumstance and situation, we should be wanting to put our flesh in subjection, all right, and not let it rule over us, and have a emotional response that can cost you a whole lot in the time frame in which we in. Having the wrong emotional reaction, fleshly reaction, can cause you a whole lot. But this is Ephesians 4:21. It says, "If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yahweh Shai." So taught the word. It says 22, "that ye put off concerning the former conversations the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust." So man, putting off that old man is what's a necessity inside the truth. Constantly putting off that old man, that old conversation. Individuals talk about gang banging and what they was doing, this, that, and the third. It's testimonies, but then there's glorification as well. And we're not to glorify the evil, all right, and the corrupt things. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be an enemy of the Lord by promoting wickedness and everything. Trying to be a friend of the world, right? It says, "And be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, is created in righteousness and true holiness," man. This is what you are thirsting for. That new man, walking after the spirit in righteousness and true holiness. Being perfect at the end of the day in the eyes of the Lord. That's what's beneficial to you, especially in the time frame in which we are in. This is Matthew 7:13. It says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat." So entering in at that straight gate, that's a path of difficulties. All right? That's a path of suffering for righteousness' sake. All right? Saying that, no, I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to do that. You're not going to be popular in the world. The scripture says, "Woe to you." Let's see if I can find that. see. There it is. This is Luke 6:26. It says, "Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets." All right, so the false prophets, you're going to have a lot of men speaking well of them. And woe is sudden destruction is to fall upon them at the end of the day, man. This is where they're leading into. And that's not part of the straight gate, man. That's that broad path because you wanting individuals, you want them to be loved by individuals, right? You're not out here putting out the judgment and telling the truth. You trimming your ways, trying to make everything accommodated for everybody, right? And the Lord talks about His word has come to bring a sword, to bring division at the end of the day, separate His sheep from the foe. So it's Matthew 7:13. It says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth into destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it." Man, once again, we walking that path, or we walking in those steps after Yahweh Shai that's going to lead into life. All right, so that's about putting off that old man. All right, doing the work of the Lord, doing what He's commanded us to do, operating in faith. You know. All right, let's grab this in the book of Ephesians. I'm gonna start at 5:8. It says, "For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light. Are ye light in the Lord?" It says, "Walk as children of the light." All right, so walk in the truth. It says, "For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them." Okay, so you're not trying to mingle. You're not trying to sit in the seat of a scorner, right? You getting away from that shit. All right, you getting away from that darkness, and ultimately, the only reason you will want to hang out with that because you lack the fear of the Lord. Okay, you're not understanding that the Lord can activate any one of those individuals into demons of wrath, and pour out that judgment upon you at the end of the day because you trying to you chilling with darkness, right? You chilling with the unfruitful works of darkness at the end of the day, man. And the Lord said, man, if you around, it's rather to reprove them, okay? And of course, you use wisdom with these things, you know. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. It's not always time to be rebuking on, like that. You at your job, your daily walk, even around certain individuals, you just go about, do what you have to do to get out the way, you know. But it's gonna come a time that it's all bets off, it's all cards off the table, right? You got to tell the truth to these individuals that are out here living a wicked life, and they're not gonna like you for it. All right. And that time is quickly approaching because the devil is coming down with great wrath. You see these situations, these prophecies being fulfilled, and things are getting rough out here, man. All right, so they might not want to hear the truth, but hey, it's only this truth that's gonna let them set them free. At the end of the day, they can take heed to it, or they can reject it. All right, but man, the line is being drawn. Choose ye this day, life or death. Right? I got family members that I see, and I don't make mention of nothing. I just go about my business. Hey, how you doing? Keep it pushing. You know, and some of them I see. Really, I might say something. It's all through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai at the end of the day. But at this point in time, man, the Lord is going to find His sheep, and how He's going to find them, He's gathering them through the Word, through the spirit of prophecy. These prophecies are being fulfilled, and those who have ears to hear and eyes to see, and they're going to be taking heed to the time in which we in, and taking advantage of it, and doing what they have to do. All right. But it says in Ephesians 5:11, it says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. It says Ephesians 5:13, but all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light, for whatsoever doth make manifest is light, right? The truth is what the light is at the end of the day, the word. And manifest means evident, okay? But Ephesians 5:14 says, wherefore he said, awake thou sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shai Mashiach shall give thee light. Okay, from you waking up from that dead-like estate. All right, the light, the Lord is giving you those eyes to see, ears to hear, and now you have the truth, man. All right, and Ephesians 5:15 says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So you're children of the light, so walk after the light, man. All right, keep that eye singular, with the light. This is the time frame in which we in. All right. It's not the time to be walking after fools and then trying to walk after the light and doing all that. That's not wise. All right. The Lord sees all these things. It's Ephesians 5:16. It says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Okay. And get this redeeming. Let's see. In fact, yeah, I'm going to get the redeeming.
Strong's G 1805. Exagorazo.
Right, to redeem, to buy, payment, or a price to recover from the power of another, to ransom, buy off, of Yahweh Mashiach, freeing the elect from the dominion of the Mosaic law at the price of his death, his crucifixion. It's just to buy up for oneself, to make wise and sacred use of every opportunity for doing good, so that the zeal and well-doing are as it were the purchase money by which we make the time our own. And that's it. That's the point. To make wise and sacred use of every opportunity for doing good, so that the zeal, that zeal and well-doing are as it were the purchase money by which we make the time our own. All right, so we're doing what we can with the time we have, by striving after this truth. All right, doing what is necessary. Get this word time.
Strong's G 2540. Kairos.
Right. It's a due measure, a measure of time, a larger or smaller portion of time, hence a fixed and definite time, the time when things are brought to crisis, the decisive epoch waited for, opportune or seasonable time, the right time, a limited period of time, to what time brings the state of the times, the things and the events of time, but opportune time. All right. Opportunity. Okay. Opportunity. Let's see what this opportunity. There's a saying in the world that says opportunity knocks but once. All right. It says we should take an opportunity or chance when it comes. According to this saying, it will not come again. All right. So the Lord has given us, blessed us with an opportunity. All right. In this last captivity, that's not going to come again. All right. To be the best servants we can possibly be. Let's see. It says opportunity comes but once is a phrase that means when you have a chance to do something or try something new, you should take advantage of it because you might not get another chance like it. So you should be going after this like you're not going to get another chance to do it. All right? Because what you do is going to be accounted for you or against you, So it's the time that you should be putting your best effort into being, a better brother, a better anything, according to these scriptures. You know, if it's praying, if it's fasting, if it's charity, you know, however you can, this is the time to be doing so, man. And the time in which the Lord has given us, man, this grace period. But this is 2nd Ezra 9:7. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye believed. So it's these works, the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is what's going to save you. Okay, so why not be doing in the time frame in which we have? 2nd Ezra 9:8, it says, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Okay, so man, you want to see these things. You want to see the salvation, you know, in the land. All right, you want to be preserved from the periled times that the Lord said that was coming. All right, you want to be one of those men that were sanctified from the beginning. And right now, man, we're doing the best we can to be qualified to be those men in a time frame in which the Lord has given us. All right, not wavering, not going back and forth inside the world and everything. But man, the Lord hates the world. We hate the world too. All right, the flesh is enmity with the spirit, so we're putting this flesh under subjection. All right, we're putting this flesh in, under abstinence or abstaining from things. We're denying it on a daily basis, using self-control, discipline. All right, you know, so we can be a better version of ourselves when it comes down to it. But man, with that, I want to make this long. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to our apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching us this truth and ruling well. Peace and blessings to Lakion, putting on his D-Lick. Shalom. Keep pushing.